Welcome to the Website Pipeline webinar. A couple of housekeeping notes before we begin. All attendees are in listen-only mode, so feel free to eat your lunch. You may ask questions or enter chat questions on your screen, and at the end we will unmute anyone who has a question for Darcy Borio, our presenter today. The broadcast will be posted on our website in case you want to go through the material one more time. So please join me in welcoming Darcy Borio. She has been working with the Sage products in various capacities for 19 years. In that time, she's helped hundreds of Sage users find solutions to enhance their ERP. In her current role as Channel Development Manager at Website Pipeline, she helps companies improve their customer service and streamline processes through Sage integrated e-commerce and customer self-service. Thank you, Darcy.
Great, thanks Carol. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and thanks to Vrakas Blum for hosting. We're going to try to cover a lot of ground today and give you a high-level overview of how you can put the web to work for you with the Sage integrated customer portal. But before I get started with that, I want to tell a fun story, since we're all kind of in the throes of March Madness these days, I guess. At least we are in my household. So at 6:03 p.m. on Sunday, March 12th, Northwestern University's men's basketball team officially earned its first NCAA tournament berth in the school's history. And at 6:07, Fanatics Inc., the world's largest sports apparel retailer, posted its newest product, a purple Northwestern t-shirt that reads, "Chicago is dancing, the road to the Final Four." No endorsement of Northwestern implied. We all have our own teams, but I thought it was an interesting tale that in 4 minutes after it was announced, the new shirt is on the website. So the moral of the story to me is today's consumer, whether they're buying for their own personal consumption or for their business's consumption or for resale, they expect a more modern and on-demand experience than the typical phone, fax, email, and snail mail when they're interacting with their vendors. And yes, there are still plenty of people out there using fax machines, so still hear that one all the time. Anyhow, with the Sage integrated website pipeline self-service portal, your customers and your reps can interact and transact with you 24/7 on any device. Most people, when they think about e-commerce, they think about websites and shopping carts, and of course we handle all of those things, but where the magic comes in is in the cloud-based customer and rep self-service tools that Website Pipeline offers. So I want to take a look at this visual here. Let's picture this box over here on the side as your Sage ERP. And then let's take this piece here that kind of looks like a pipeline, coincidentally, as the sync tool or integration piece that unlocks that data from Sage through a cloud-based platform. And it's a bi-directional integration that syncs about every 60 seconds. So what I want to do is get you thinking about some of the data that you might have that's locked up over here in your Sage ERP that maybe could be made available in the cloud to your customers and sales reps to help make it easier for them to do business with you. One real obvious example is going to be, say, just a public web store with products and pricing. So this guy over here, he's sitting in his office or maybe even in his house, and he's looking at the ERP software company's website, and maybe he sees some product information, does some shopping that's coming directly out of Sage, then he places an order, and that order flows back into Sage in the form of a sales order. So that's just a real obvious sort of example, but what we do encompasses that, but we also go way beyond web stores. But I just wanted to show you this graphic to sort of get you thinking in your mind about the integration piece, and it's a gross oversimplification of what we do. I have this whole slide here that if I could really wanted to break it down with you, could explain to you how our sync tool works and our proprietary sync tool and our cloud database and all that. But I don't want to get too into that because I could go on for a long time. Again, I'm happy to discuss any of this more in detail with you one-on-one after the webinar. So just wanted to get you thinking about that concept of the integration and the bidirectional integration and the sync. So we've got a pretty diverse group on the call today, and each of you are going to have some different requirements when it comes to e-commerce. And again, if you like what you see today and want to learn more, we're happy to dig deeper into the specific components that make sense for your business, both your business today and your business in the future. But I do want to just for the agenda, I want to talk about kind of the 6 different flavors we offer. And then I'll show you a live demo of the integration and some sample sites, some live customers, and then we'll also have time for questions, hopefully. If I don't, I might start talking fast if we get towards the end and I'm running out of time, but I tend to do that. Anyhow, so what we are looking at on this screen here are really what we refer to as our 6 flavors. So, you know, any type of configuration of this may or may not apply to you, but one thing on the first one, which is we call our sync tool only, is, and I get this almost every day, a customer will come to me and say, hey, we already have a Sage user, hey, we already have an e-commerce site that we're really happy with, or we've spent a lot of money on it and we don't want to lose that investment, but it doesn't integrate with Sage. It could be something homegrown that they've done or custom work, or it could be something like a Magento or a Shopify or other e-commerce platform. And you know what? We can help them. We can help them integrate that with their Sage data, which is not easy to do, but with our proprietary sync tool technology, we have the ability to do that. Another example of how some customers use our software is what we call an AR portal, or really just an online bill pay. So some customers don't sell a physical product, or maybe they do, but it's just not conducive to selling online. But they still want to offer their customers that modern experience of being able to view and pay their invoices online and have that integrated with Sage. We can do that as well. And then we offer B2B portals, so a lot of customers want to just keep their existing website, maybe it's a brochure site and they're broadcasting information about their company but not really having any product information there. We can add a B2B portal, a login area to their existing website where their B2B customers can log in and view product information, including inventory levels, customer-specific pricing. They can view their order history, track shipments, place orders, view and pay invoices. A lot of those customer services that go beyond just buying and selling online. Other customers still want to publicly display their product information, but also have customers have to log in if they want to actually transact. And then, of course, some customers want to sell to the public on a public site, but also have a B2B portal for their B2B customers. So those are kind of the main ones. And then the last one on here we call sales rep tools, but essentially some companies have their sales reps maybe out in the field. They want their sales reps to be able to go in, and I'm going to show you examples of all of these, so bear with me. They want their customers to be able, their sales reps, excuse me, to be able to go in and they're out in the field right before they walk in to see a customer, and on any device, maybe their mobile phone or their tablet, pull up information about that customer's order history, recently viewed products, anything to help them sell more with that customer, and all without having to dig into Sage. It's all in a real easy to use format that I'll show you in a few minutes. So with that, I'm going to go straight in here and get out of this PowerPoint, hopefully. And I'm going to take you to this site here, which is our sample site. And this is just sort of how all of our websites are born. You'll see when I show you some of other customer sites, we have a lot of flexibility in what this looks like. But I'm going to go into, I want you to take a look at this one product right here. This is a Han 2-drawer letter file with lock, and it's $60. Hopefully you can see that. I'll lift it up a little. And then I'm going to go on into Sage here. Logged me out, I was gone too long. And let's go ahead and pull up that same item here. And I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to call this I'm going to add VB to the end of this. And then I want you to see the retail price and the standard price in here, $80, $60. And I'm going to accept that change, and within 60 seconds, and we always joke this is the longest 60 seconds of our lives, when I refresh the screen, within 60 seconds, we're going to see that description change. And if I made a change to the price, the same would be the case. So what we're really doing is we're really putting the power to manage your website in your hands, just based on updating information in Sage. So it reminds me of a story that I had a Sage partner called me about one of his customers one day, and he said, hey Darcy, you have to talk to this customer because they just called me and asked me to design a report for them showing all the items that were added to Sage in the last 6 months. And when I asked them why, they said, well, we need to go add them all to our website. Well, if they were using Website Pipeline, then whenever they made those changes within Sage, within 60 seconds, those changes would be reflected on the website, as you can see now. it's got the VB. So I changed the description. I could have changed the price, any number of things. So this is just an example of a public-facing store, but I want to go back into that item again, and I want to show you that we have some customer-specific pricing on this item. Oops, not price lookup. So let's go to the customer-specific price schedule here, and the company I'm going to do is Ray's Awesome Company, and Ray gets a 25% discount on the first 5 that he buys for a total unit price of $45. So now I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to sign in as an employee of Ray's company, as a user in Ray's company. And when I sign in here, we're going to notice that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong one. Oh, not that, not that. Things are going crazy. Bear with me. All right, I'm in the wrong login. Give me just a moment. It's hard on my little screen here. The GoToMeeting panel's in the way. Sign out. Sign in. Okay, sorry, now I'm signing in as Ray's company. My apologies. And now if I want to go shop for that same product, I can come in here, I can search in here for that same Han product. And there it is. And now when I look at it, I'm going to see my price, which is at $45. Because what we're doing is we're replicating the pricing logic from Sage. And there's a lot of variations that you can do in Sage with the customer-specific pricing, and we manage all of that for you regardless of how many different configurations you may have in there. That's part of what we offer. So when I come in here, I can go on with the shopping experience. Now, Sage is a fantastic ERP software, but Sage is not great as an e-commerce solution. So what I'm saying when I say that is that there are going to be things that you need to run an e-commerce site that aren't going to come from Sage. Ideally, we want everything on your site to populate from Sage automatically, but unfortunately there are some things that just isn't a place for in Sage. So for instance, if you wanted to have some PDF brochures for downloads or some longer descriptions, you can have videos, additional images, and so all of those things we give you the power to manage with our content management system that comes with every site. So again, you're empowered to sort of control the website. We don't want you to have to call us and have us make updates every time you want to make a change. And this system is very easy to use. I'm not a very technical person. I learned it in just a few hours. So very easy to use. So let me go back now. Again, we're in the B2B portal in our sample company. And you may notice it looks a lot different than more of the public-facing site that I started off on. And that's because we've discovered that a lot of B2B users in a B2B environment, they really just, they want to get in there and get what they're doing done. They don't want to see a lot of flashing signs and bells and whistles. So after a lot of research with our customers, we came up with this look and feel. And it's mobile responsive, so as you can see, if I change the size of a tablet or device that I'm on, it changes with me. Very user-friendly. The first 4 buttons here we see all have to do with shopping. So I just showed you browsing for a product. We can look at price lists and view availability that way. I can manage favorites lists. So in a B2B environment, a lot of times a customer wants to come in and they already have a handful of items that they always purchase. And so they may want to just come in and view their own favorites list and then quickly add to the cart from their items from their favorites list. So again, making the process smoother and easier for the customer. And then just bulk adding to the cart. So I can come in here and I can just enter a SKU and grab that. I could enter another one. And I can continue to add those, and then I can change my quantities as I go. And then let's just go ahead and add these to the cart. So again, all those were just kind of around different ways of shopping. And now I want to proceed to checkout. So I'm going to go back and show you what the rest of those buttons were for in a minute, but for now I'm going to proceed to checkout. The software already knows who I am because I have the account set up, so I don't need to put in any of this information, account address information, etc., but I can overwrite it if necessary. In the interest of time, I'm just going to move through this. And now I'm going to come to the order confirmation screen where I can see all the details of my order and make changes if I need to. I also want to point out that we do integrate with Avalara or Sage Sales Tax if you want to pull the tax rates from there, or we can pull the rates from the rate tables in Sage. We've got different payment methods available. We integrate with all the major credit card gateways. We also work with Sage Payment Solutions. But you also have an option here, and you can control this by customer. I get that question a lot, to allow customers to be invoiced. So in this case, I'm going to just go ahead and do that. And I'm going to put in a PO number and place the order. And what happens now is the order is going to process. I'm going to be taken to the confirmation screen. I will receive a confirmation email, and within 60 seconds, that's going to be a sales order created in Sage. All right, so moving on from there, let's say I'm the customer and I just placed that order with Widget Company, and let's say I am based on the East Coast and I placed this order at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and then went on about my day, or my evening I should say. And then the next morning I wake up and I say, hey, I wonder what's going on with that order, so I call Widget Co, but they're not open yet because they're on the West Coast. Well, I can come in here and just log in and I can look at my orders. I can see all the orders that I have in Sage from here. It shows me that I have recent orders that are still processing. I can see all orders in Sage, not just orders that were placed on the website. Because of our tight integration with Sage, we let you see everything, and you can tell which ones came from the website as opposed to being entered directly into Sage or coming into Sage through some other means, because the order numbers will start with a W. So great tool, you know, if I'm ordering those March Madness shirts and I need them on the shelves by tomorrow and I don't know if they're coming or not and the office is closed, this is how I can come in and find out if it's going to be happening or not. And then I can also come in here, I can track shipments. So I can view all the shipments here, and we can pull tracking information. If you're using Starship, we can actually pull the Starship information that they're reporting back to you, and you can track your orders from here, track your shipments, excuse me, from here as well. We can track open and paid invoices. And so if I want to come in here and see all my invoices, and I can also make payments on these invoices just by clicking on Pay Now. And I can filter them, of course, to only see certain invoices. When I click on Pay Now, I can come in here and put in an amount to pay. You can control if you want to let people short pay or not, but they can come in here and pay invoices right here online. And then I can view my payments and I can view account information. So that's just a real high level of our, basically this is mostly our base package functionality. We have a catalog of hundreds of add-on functionalities that we've done for different people, different customers that they needed, but that's just some real basic stuff there. Carol, are there any questions before I move on?
No, I don't see any questions at this time. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So next I told you about the sales rep tools. So this is the same concept. We're still using that cloud data, except that I'm the sales rep for Widget Co instead of the customer for Widget Co. So again, sometimes you want your sales reps to be able to interact and transact on behalf of your customers. So I can just come in here and I'm signing into my own company's portal. So it always amazes me when I get all the passwords right. I shouldn't jinx myself, but yeah, I'm in. So, so what's interesting about this is when I come in here right now and I'm signed in as what we call a super user, but let's say that I am the sales manager for the Eastern region, all right? And so I can have all the customers mapped to me and aggregated in this view. So for all the customers that are assigned to the Eastern region, and I might have 3 sales reps in the Eastern region who also have their own dashboards that only include their information. But I can see sales this year, sales this month, etc. I can see all this information, all the KPIs that I want here aggregated for the entire region that I've indicated as part of my area. And so this is good tools not just for sales reps out in the field, but for sales management at the office as well. And then I can also come in here to this menu, and now what I'm seeing is all the information that goes into making up those numbers that I just saw. So if I want to see all the orders for the area that's included in my territory or area, or however we want to refer to it, I can come in here and see all the orders, for example. And again, these are going to be all the orders total, not just ones that were entered directly from the website. And then another thing I can do is I can come in here, and again, I'm the sales rep here, so I'm going to go out, let's say, and I'm about to go out and visit a customer. I can see all my contacts here, and I can log in as that contact. So let's say I'm going to visit Alexander Specialties. I can log in as Alexander Specialties, and I can look at that same information from their perspective. So I can see, I can go shop, and I'll see their specific pricing. I can place orders, and we have a full audit trail that shows that, that it was placed by the rep on behalf of the customer. So these are great tools, and what's nice about it is, again, that they don't have to get into Sage and dig around. It's just very easy to use, just the same user interface that you're offering to customers, you're offering to their reps, but it just puts all that information at their fingertips in one place. Carol, any questions before I move on?
No, no questions at this time. Thanks.
Sure. I'm just trying to segment it out. So we now I'm going to show you guys some actual live sites and examples of how customers are using our software. So the first one I'm going to show you is the Solid Waste Authority. They don't sell a physical product online. But you know, City of Utica residents want to be able to pay their bills online. So what they did was they added a login area to their homepage. We matched the look and feel. So the customers, the City of Utica residents, can just sign in here with their login credentials and have a very simple online bill pay. So I can come in and see the invoices. This will look similar to what you saw before, and I can pay them now. I can go and view my payment history and what invoices they're applied to. I can view an aging report, and I can view and edit information about my account. So we've just kind of parsed out just the bill pay functionality, and this is good for anybody that doesn't sell a physical product but just wants to offer a more modern customer experience to their customers. So let's face it, I don't know about you guys, so I'm not going to ask you, and I hope you're enjoying your lunches, but I don't write and put them in the mail. I pay all my bills online, and your customers do too, and they're personalized, and more increasingly so if they're B2B customers in their business lives as well. And so we're just offering them that experience that they have. In addition, we're making it easy for them to pay. Let's make it as easy as possible. Let's not put any barriers between us and the people who give us money. So let's make it as easy as possible for them to pay us. So no more check is in the mail. I have some customers that don't even let their customers mail in checks. They only allow payments online now. No more check is in the mail. No more checks sitting in the mail or waiting to get entered into the system. The invoices, the payments are entered automatically into Sage with the integration. The next example I'm going to show you is Marvin's Flower Gardens, and this is just strictly just a B2B portal. I do want to point out that some of you may already have a website and you may really like your design, and that's fine. We can just add a portal to your existing website and match your look and feel. So Marvin's, I think we did do some design work for them. We have a team of designers on staff, and you can use as much or as little of their assistance as possible. So, but if this was already your website, for example, Marvin's Florist, they sell floral flowers and accessories to retail florists. And so they don't really want to have all their product information available to the public. They want their customers, their existing retailers, to be able to log in and place orders and track shipments and self-serve. So they have this account login area where their customers can go in and sign into their account. And once they're in, this may all look very familiar to you. So I'm not going to go into each and one of these buttons. I mean, they've got the shopping experience, and again, they have some control over what this looks like. But their customers, now that they're logged in, are able to make purchases and track their orders and things of that nature. So they're not really broadcasting their product information, but once you're in here and you're a customer and you're ready, you can see everything, and you can see promos and specials and everything else, and including inventory levels. They may display inventory levels on here. Some of our customers display exact inventory levels. Others just say in stock or out of stock. If you have multiple warehouses, we can have them search different warehouses. There's a lot of flexibility on that as well. Another example I'm going to show you that's a little variation here is called Golden Flower Chinese Herbs. Now these guys sell, so Marvin's, they're selling for resale, all right? Their retailers are buying to turn around and sell. Marvin's sells mainly products to acupuncturists, is primarily their customer base. And so those acupuncturists are doing two things here, a couple things. One is they're buying herbs and things that they're going to sell to their clients. And also they're purchasing equipment that they're going to use in their practice. But regardless of how it's going to happen, we've given them different options of doing it. So Golden Flower allows the public to see their products. So if I Googled needles, okay, or herbal tropicals and skincare, I could be taken to this public site and find their products. However, I'm not going to be able to purchase until I'm signed in as a customer. So I can see the product information, I can learn more about what they offer, I can find them in a search, I can add things to favorites, I can see details in stock, etc., but I can't actually buy until I sign in. One other thing I want to point out about Golden Flower that I find kind of interesting, you know, sometimes we get objections from people that their customers would never use it. Oh, it's too, you know, it's too hard for our customers. Guys, your customers buy stuff on Amazon. So, you know, if they can buy on Amazon, they can do this. But Golden Flower put a little video here that their customers can watch that explains to them how to create an account, how to add items to their cart, how to check out. So I thought that was kind of neat. That was something we helped them with. But if they sign in, it's the same situation. So when the customers click on sign in, they put in their password, and I'm not going to go into it all for you because it's too many passwords to remember, but as you can imagine, they're going to see some big easy buttons and continue on with the B2B experience. I've got two more examples. I've got stoppainting.com. These guys sell these really cool paint, or tape, I should say, that you can move around. So if you've got a warehouse, you can have it custom printed, say whatever you want on it, and then if you move the fire extinguisher, for example, somewhere else, you just pick up the tape and move it somewhere else. It's pretty cool stuff. So I'm like sounding like an ad for them, but I think it's really neat. So they sell to, I can go buy on here right now if I want to, but typically their customers are other businesses. So they sell to other businesses. So if I want to come in here and buy some floor tape, I can come in here. I can even buy custom floor tape. And this is something that we did for them that's not necessarily included in our base package, but these are the kinds of things we can do. If I want 4-inch tape, I can come in here and I can say, stay here. I can change what I want it to say on it. I can pick the color. So we've got this kind of configurator tool on here for them that allows them to allow customers to order custom orders online. Again, they broadcast all their information to the public. They also have a sign-in area for their customers. And then the last example, because I'm running out of time and I want to leave room for questions, is Lodge. Lodge is a cast iron skillet manufacturer. They make these really awesome cast iron skillets, and they sell, I can come online here and shop and buy a skillet right from their website. So they sell to the public. I've seen their products at, so they've got a nice shopping experience here. I've seen their products at Costco and Walmart, but they also sell them in addition to selling to the public online, which again I can add to the cart and buy right from here. But they also sell through a lot of the smaller, maybe mom and pop type shops and retailers. So in that case, oh, I guess I'm already signed in. So I'm already signed into this one, I apologize. But I can come in here and now I've got that same type of setting that I had that you've seen over and over again, where I can look at my orders, I can track shipments, make payments, etc. So Lodge is a fun story because before they met us, they had an e-commerce site and they were accepting orders, but they would get an email and the woman Helen there had to manually enter all the orders into Sage when she received the emails. And so when their first day their site went live, they got 800 orders, and I quote, Helen jumped out of her chair when she realized she didn't have to enter them all manually into Sage. And you can imagine how much time they saved and how much quicker they got the orders turned around and how much more accurate they were when the orders were flowing directly into Sage. So I'm at the end of my time. I talked right till the very end, but I'm happy to stay on for questions. Carol, are there any questions out there?
I don't see any questions that have been posted. I will unmute the lines right now in case anyone has an additional question that they want to ask. Any questions, anyone, or comments? Wonderful. Well, if you do think of follow-up questions, I'll go ahead and mute the lines again. You can raise your hand if you want to be unmuted. If you do think of follow-up questions, we will be sending a follow-up email to the webinar with the link when it's on the website, and please respond with any questions at that point in time and let us know if we can do anything for follow-up. Boy, that last website sure made me hungry, Darcy.
We'll go get some lunch, Carol. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, thanks.